You know, I spent time thinking of an intro skit, but the fact this movie is called Gamer is funny enough as it is. Gamer 2009 is a movie directed by Mark Neveldine and Brian Taylor, the directors of the Crank Duology and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. These guys are directors who should probably be way better than they actually are. So I'ma just jump into this. Gamer is absolutely insane. First of all, the movie is called
Gamer,
which is hilarious. But on top of that, the movie is just unhinged. It's kinda hard talking about this movie without just straight up showing you the shit that happens in this. This is a weird movie and I want to talk about it today. So let's get gaming with Gamer 2009.
Hey gamers.
Our film opens with the Marilyn Manson cover of Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. We are 2 seconds into the movie. This is paired with the absolute worst combination of CGI and stock footage I have ever seen. It deadass looks like a mobile phone app, bro. Yeah, 2 seconds in, and I'm already having schizophrenia in cinema form. By the way, you all remember Mountain Dew Amp Energy? Okay, so, we're just in it now. So, this movie is edited interestingly. There is a nauseating amount of cuts and glitch effects everywhere, to the point where it's incredibly hard to tell what's going on. Now, if I'm gonna be honest here, I actually kind of see the vision with this. There's a very grimy kind of Kane and Lynch 2-like aesthetic, and it makes the world feel very brutal yet bleak, which in universe actually does make a lot of sense. The problem with this is that, it's completely incoherent. Like, you know how film is a visual language? Yeah, Gamer does not have a visual language. It also tries way too hard to be badass and edgy. Like, bro, here's an electric guitar, Call of Duty rank up noise. It just comes off as laughably corny.
What the fuck do you even call this genre of music, but Rockin' Burger?
If you think that's funny though, just wait till the fucking title drop. So cut to a bunch of guys on this truck here. Are these the gamers or... Okay, never mind. John Delancey's here now, and he says this line.
Stop menstruating and just tell me whether we fucking have it.
I'm sorry? This movie is like a mix of a Has-Been Hotel and a Death Grips music video. We then almost immediately cut to...
We live in society.
Dude, this might be the hardest movie to take seriously ever. We then get a commercial TV show thing straight out of MGS4.
You're watching Gina Parker Smith.
Family.
Wow, bravo Kojima, you're really cooked on this one. Anyways, this all leads into a guy named Ken Castle being interviewed. He's the creator of Society, which is a kind of like a VR chat, except you control real people.
Because I have phantom pain!
A concept you're clearly not supposed to think about too hard.
You can get paid to be controlled, or you can pay to control.
Who the fuck is this guy? So anyways, the questions like how do players and avatars get paid real money for this? Is this a closed off community? How is this not a human rights violation? Yeah, don't think about it too hard because wouldn't it be bad if you mind controlled people? By the way, gotta love these names like Hardman.
Die Hardman.
There's McLovin, proving this movie indeed came out in 2009.
I am McLovin.
There's Jungle Fever.
My name is Jungle Pussy.
These are certainly usernames. To be fair though, my name is dumb still, I shouldn't be talking. Anyway, so the platform of Society made Ken Carson over here very famous. However, he's now promoting a new real-life game thing called Slayers, where players control death row inmates in real-life Fortnite for a chance to gain freedom instead of being executed, which is somehow a better setup than the Hunger Games. After this interview though, it's interrupted by the hacker group Humans, with a Z. It's run by Ludacris because he was just doing anything around this time. Wow, I gotta say, this new Watch Dogs game looks crazy. Man, if only these characters had ExpressVPN, the sponsor of today's video. Before we move on, though, I must ask you a question. Is a man not entitled to online privacy protection? No, says the international ISPs. We must see your private conversations. No, says the man in Washington. Your data must be sold to the megacorps. No, says the man on the streaming services. Not unless you're in the right region, that is. ExpressVPN. rejects those answers. And just in time, too. I don't know if you noticed, but things are getting weird on the internet, with more and more censorship under the guise of online safety being enrolled. That's on top of many public Wi-Fi networks being unencrypted, and ISPs constantly stalking you and keeping logs on you. So whether it's spying, stealing, or selling, you are at risk. So having a good VPN is actually very important these days. That's where ExpressVPN, with its best-in-class encryption, comes in clutch. You can even use it to watch movies on your streaming service that aren't in your region. Like, for example, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, greatest films ever made. Those movies are on Netflix, but not over here in the US. That is, unless you use ExpressVPN and just change your region. And on top of that, it's again super secure and very easy to use. And just for that reason alone, plus online safety getting more and more crazy, I'd say ExpressVPN is pretty much worth it these days. Find out how you can get up to 4 extra months by scanning the QR code on screen, clicking the link in the description box below, or by going to expressvpn.com/dumbsville. Big thank you to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video. Sorry, I blacked out for a minute. Where was I? Anyways, cut to the death row inmates, and I'm gonna be honest, I have no clue what happens here. Some guy who kills an officer tries escaping, but then gets launched in the sky. I don't know why. Why is this shot really good, too? Like, what the fuck? Gerard Butler, the main character, then has like a weird flashback, all while he's gripping the white sand here, while the inmates play basketball to dramatic music. And then John Leguizamo was in the movie, and we're shown why the film's style is such a double-edged sword. Because as kinda cool as the movie sometimes is, really making the world feel dehumanizing, which it's supposed to, the issue is that the world building and information is delivered like this.
7 battles, 3 to go. It was ever done. That man no one's ever come that close. No one's even gotten 10 games without getting their brain shot.
It's absolutely incoherent. So here's what I think happens. This guy, Gerard Butler, the guy on the poster, the gamer, his real name is John Tillman, but his username is a Cable, so we'll call him Cable. He killed a guy in a room once, I think, so that's why he's playing Slayers and being under mind control. However, in his jail cell, some guy gives him a photo of his family from the flashback that I mentioned earlier. They then give him a shot of something, and yeah, that's important for later, I think, apparently. Meanwhile, this girl, who is his wife named Angie, she needs money to help the family that was in the brief flashback, so she becomes an avatar for society. In a scene where, obviously I can't show anything, but if you like a pointless nudity and shock value, this is a great scene for you. Wait, hold on a minute, is that Burberry Airy? Noodle box! So anyways, the wife here meets a guy with a pig nose.
I am Pigman. I am Pigman.
And there's a fat guy controlling the wife character. A guy who eats waffles by the handful? This is what the average... Fuck, how do I finish this joke? But then the fat guy gets jump scared by Ludacris. We are 20 minutes in, and it's now dawning on me that this is indeed a real movie. Cut back to the video game, and we see another disorienting and edgy action scene. And the weird part is, some of the practical gore looks really, really good. There's even a sad Gears of War piano at one point in this.
Fuck Gears of War, more like Tears of War.
We also briefly see the guy controlling Cable, which has me asking, what kind of game is this? Like, this is the gameplay. Is this a third-person shooter? There's also like a 2-second first-person shot. So is this like a hybrid of the two? Also, why are there save points in a multiplayer game? And most important question, does Cable get the Playboy Cardi skin yet? On the topic of all this, we finally meet the guy controlling Cable. You know, like 25 minutes into the movie. This character is Simon, a 17-year-old kid who for some reason can afford this big, huge, giant computer 360 room. He enjoys doing things like watching adult video content, calling things gay, and gay.
Gay.
I think cinema was a mistake. He also has an emo girl sister named Sissy Puss. Why would you name yourself Sissy Puss?
Wanna make out?
You will.
Dude, what the fuck? That's your sister! We also meet the cum dumpsters who flash this 17-year-old boy. I am deeply uncomfortable. I'm not trying to be on a watch list. I'm trying to watch a movie called A Gamer. But then suddenly, Simon gets hacked and sees the video of the flashback of Gerard Butler Cable guy killing the dude in the room. He's then told to download a cool virus.
If you want to talk to Cable, we can show you how.
Of course, though, this isn't actually a virus, but rather a way for Simon and Cable to talk to each other directly. Meanwhile, Dutcher the bad guy wants to make things harder for Cable and kill him off. His solution? Terry Crews.
What?
whose name, I'm not shitting you, is Hackman. Bravo Hideo Kojima. This is because he killed a bunch of people then turned himself in, and also because he has no player controlling him. He just kills people, which is established by Terry Crews singing Pinocchio.
There are no strings on me.
Anyways, cut to the next match. One of the last matches of Slayer, where Simon chooses to directly talk to Cable. Here's how that goes.
Why am I not dead yet?
I'm a badass motherfucker.
Then sadly, John Leguizamo dies. Oh no! This would be really sad if I knew what he said for half the movie. Cable and Simon then have more banter together.
All the shit we've been through together, what an epic run.
Oh, run, yo. Cable then reaches a restricted area of the game, and then Terry Crews attacks him, but conveniently the match ends. But as Terry Crews is being dragged away, Cable reveals the only way to beat Terry Crews is to let the Cable free, severing Simon's connection and unleashing the beast deep inside of him. Why? That's a very good question, because I have no idea. We then get to this scene where Angie can't get custody of her daughter, and that's about it. The only thing notable is that Sam Witwer is in this scene. Hey, aren't you the guy from the Callisto Protocol? I was also Deacon St. John in Days Gone. What the fuck is a Days Gone? To be honest, I don't know. I was in the game though. Cut back to Simon, who gets hacked by Ludacris.
I have to let y'all know that I am coming.
And he's all like, Simon, you better let Cable free, my bro. But Simon's all like, no, dude, I'm the ultimate gamer. But Luda's all like, nah, man, you gotta do it against the man. And Simon's all like, okay, yeah, I'll think about it.
Because the game's gotta evolve.
Yeah, they tried that 10 years ago and didn't work out. Meanwhile, some person tells Cable that Ken Carson wants to kill him. And to save his wife and kid, he has to escape from the game. This leads into one of the dumbest plot points of all time. So Cable asks the guy who is working with the humans to smuggle in something. That something being a small little bottle of off-brand Smirnoff vodka. He then chugs it and spends the next match stumbling around, somehow not dying. You know, with more chromatic aberration, this is a great Max Payne 3 movie. He then goes to this parked truck in a parking lot, and then he vomits and pisses in the truck, and somehow this works? You know how impossible this is? I mean, first of all, this small bottle cannot fuel this fucking 4x4. If the bottle were bigger, maybe it could do it, but not this shit. But of course, he's not just pouring vodka in, he's pissing in it. Even though only about like 5% of alcohol you actually pee out. And on top of that, I'm watching Gerard Butler pee in a truck in a movie that's called Gamer. Anyway, so Gerard Butler drives his pee-pee truck out of the restricted area and now he's free. However, meanwhile, all around the world, the news reports Cable as being dead. Of course, though, we know he isn't. Instead, we meet this rejected Watch Dogs character who drives Cable over to a secret hideout where Ludacris is. There's then a bunch of exposition and political talk. That way, the average Letterboxd user can think the movie is deeper than it actually is.
Fortunately, guys, you know, I don't like to say these words out of my mouth. We do got a quiz this week. This Friday.
But then Cable's all like, oh no man, I'm heading out of here. But then Luda's all like, we know where your wife is, dude. And yeah, that's about it. Speaking of which, cut to Cable's wife, who under the control of the Hasman Hotel Redditor here, walks into a club and meets a character named
Rick, right?
I give up. I'm just gonna be honest here. So the wife and Rick are about to do stuff, but then Gerard Butler kills Rick and threatens the Discord mod in kind of a badass way, to be honest.
You say anything else, and I will find you, and I will rip you to fucking pieces, you understand?
Honestly, though, I do like this scene quite a bit. It's a weirdly intimate scene of a man trying to talk to his wife who isn't in control of her own body.
Love you too. I love you. Shut up!
It's a weirdly emotional, tragic, and intimate scene for Gamer to have. It's like this movie's equivalent of the hologram scene in Blade Runner 2049, just tragedy. Anyway, so the two are about to escape, but then suddenly Terry Crews appears and blows shit up. He then takes the wife and kills a guy in an elevator or something, but then Cable teleports out of nowhere and fights Terry Crews and kills him by whacking him with his gun. No dramatic bullet or anything, just like the melee button. Wow, what a big threat Terry Crews was, am I right? So Cable and his wife escape again, this time to a nightclub, which makes shit even harder for me to edit because so much nudity happens. There is literally a part where the bad guys come in and shoot blood all over a bunch of naked people making out. Yeah, I don't need visual examples for film reviewing. I'll just use cluster truck footage, thank you very much. The two then escape from the club of gratuitous nudity, and they're picked up by a couple live-action Dr. Seuss characters. And one of them is indeed that one news reporter woman. Why does she help them? Never explained. She's quite literally just a deus ex machina, just out of nowhere. Speaking of out of nowhere, Simon is interviewed by Keith David.
No one ever thought an icon could last that long.
dude, why is Keith David in so many shit projects? You are better than this. Meanwhile, the humans with a Z attempt to fix Cable's wife, but then Luda pulls Cable aside to talk about
Travis Scott.
Let's get these squad wins for the crew tonight.
Okay, but in actuality, turns out the mind control program was originally pitched as a whole brain replacing technology thing.
New era in human longevity, that's what they told us.
Hey, this happened in Metal Gear Solid 4, I know this one. Anyways, it turns out again, soldiers were the primary guinea pig for this project.
They tested it on soldiers. The first volunteer was a Corporal Travis Scott.
Also known as the sicko mode guy. We also discovered through The Matrix that the one flashback of Gerard Butler killing a guy in the room was actually him being mind controlled to kill Travis Scott against his will, which proved that mind controlling people to murder others is indeed bad. And the bad guy of the movie is also bad. What deep themes in a movie called Gamer. Oh, also they sever the fat guy's connection and then invade his house, saving Gerard Butler's wife. Hooray! But now they gotta save their daughter, who coincidentally was adopted by Ken Carson himself. Meanwhile, Simon is freed from prison for some contrived reason. But when he gets home, it turns out he criticized Has-Been Hotel once and is spammed with hate messages. And furthermore, can't do the mind control thing anymore. Which for now is fine since Cable is now in the bad guy's lair, fully his own man and rescuing his daughter. However, in order to actually free her, the bad guy wants to fight Cable to the I've got you. What the fuck? Yeah, there's just a song number dance thing in this movie. At this point, I don't even question it anymore, dude. It is a pretty good scene though, admittedly. Good job, Gamer. Castle then takes Cable to a basketball court.
Basketball isn't easy.
And reveals that he also has nanomachines in his brain too, but more powerful ones. Terry Crews then comes out because he's not dead, but is killed in 2 seconds because he's fucking useless. Following this is a huge dramatic fight scene, where Dexter takes off his fucking shirt for some reason. Gerard Butler almost kills his family because mind control. The newswoman gets the kid the access to the Gerard Butler brain program, and she also exposes him to the whole world. Gerard Butler then doesn't kill his family and almost kills Dexter, but then he can't because mind control. But thankfully, Simon can because of mind control, and Dexter then dies. And now, with everyone free from the mind control nanomachines and the family reunited, Gerard Butler and his family recreate the theatrical ending of Blade Runner and drive away, and that's the movie. And part of me wants to say, thank Christ that was over. Thank God. Because on the one hand, Gamer is kind of a complete fucking mess, filled to the brim with plot contrivances and edgy shock value, wrapped up into this incoherent ADHD-like project. I acknowledge that this movie is not very good, but on the other hand, I have a weird respect for this movie, because above all else, it commits to its grime and its edginess. It embraces how kind of nasty it is with fully open arms. The film's tone and style is so hyperactively nihilistic that by accident, it's kind of engaging and interesting. And I kind of have to respect how weirdly experimental it is. It also helps that the universe is a very cynical dystopia, and the stylistic choices actually do reinforce how bleak the world is. The film is so hyperactive and at points really colorful, but in a way where it's clear that it's very soulless. It reminds me of, again, Caden Lynch 2 Dog Days, where it's a weird, nihilistic, hyper-digital, avant-garde experience that I kind of respect really heavily, even if it's, not good. With that being said, the film isn't really fooling anybody. The plot itself is very contrived and by the numbers. The themes don't go anywhere beyond mind control bad, and the film does try too hard to be shocking at points, resulting in downright weird and creepy creative choices. With that being said, I don't think the film is malicious, just very try-hard and kind of stupid. I'm glad the film isn't really disrespectful to any kind of person or victim or anything, but why did you have to flash a 17-year-old? That's fucking weird. The film can also get too incoherent to the point where it's hard to follow along, and it just gets nauseating. However, there is kind of something here. There is a vision that's in place. It's just a shame that Gamer isn't very good. Like I said earlier, the directors of the movie should be making way better movies than they actually do. Although with that being said, the two haven't made a movie together in like 15 years, but they do have solo careers and... God damn it.
Fuck you in the lanes you came with. Me and you ain't on the same shit. You ain't in my lane, bitch. Nah, throw that shit in fifth. Rollie on my wrist. Ay, baby, you a star. I'm my only wish. I'm counting blue hundreds. I'm too money. Ay, and my little bitch, she too lovely. Yeah, hanging up and calling me right back. Ay, baby, why you calling me like that? Yeah, getting high with the seat laid back. Baby, gon' relax, yeah. Hey, they don't know the half, yeah. No matter what happened, I got your back. Baby, this facts, yeah. We can fight, but the feeling's gone. I try to find the words, but they never come. I can still see you on the lawn, hey, laying outside in the summer sun. Yeah, we can fight, but the feeling's gone. I try to find the words, but they never come. I can still see you on the lawn, hey, laying outside in the summer sun. Hey, I'm with a dark-skinned girl on a Sunday, that's that Black Sabbath. She put them ones all down on a Hyundai, and she had to have it. Baby, that's the facts, yeah, that's the facts, yeah.
Chocolate gooch cake from Trading Hoes.